What if the person you trusted with your whole heart was secretly destroying you behind your back, and the only reason you found out was because of a mistake they made with their phone? This is not just a story. This is what happened to Adaeze, a young woman from Lagos who thought she had found her forever love. She thought she had healed. She thought forgiveness had set her free. But what she discovered in that final voice note changed everything she believed about love, trust, and the man she called her husband. If you are watching this right now, pay close attention. Because sometimes the people who say they love us the most are the ones hiding the darkest secrets. Adaeze was 27 years old when she met Chidi at a wedding in Festac town. She was wearing a beautiful Ankara gown that her mother had sewn for her, and she was laughing with her cousins when their eyes met across the reception hall. Chidi was tall, dark-skinned, and had the kind of smile that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. He walked up to her that evening, introduced himself, and said something she would never forget. He said, "I have been to many weddings, but this is the first time I have seen someone who makes me believe in marriage." Adaeze laughed. She thought it was just Lagos talk, the kind of sweet words that men used to get phone numbers and then disappear. But Chidi was different. He called her the next day, and the day after, and the day after that. Within 6 months, they were dating seriously. Within 2 years, they were married in a beautiful ceremony at her family's church in Surulere. Her mother cried tears of joy. Her father shook Chidi's hand and told him to take care of his daughter. Everyone said they were the perfect couple, and for a while, they were. Chidi was a good husband. He worked as a project manager at an oil company in Victoria Island, and he made sure Ada never lacked anything. He surprised her with gifts on random days, not just on Valentine's Day or her birthday. He helped her start her small fashion business, even giving her money from his savings to buy her first batch of fabrics. Ada loved him with everything she had. She cooked his favorite meals. She prayed for him every morning before he left for work. She defended him when her friends made jokes about married men. She believed with her whole heart that she had married one of the good ones. But then, something happened that shook the foundation of everything she believed. It was a Saturday afternoon. Chidi had gone to play football with his friends, or at least that was what he told her. Ada was home alone, cleaning their bedroom, when she decided to change the sheets on their bed. As she lifted the mattress to tuck in the new bed sheet, something fell out from under it. It was a phone. Not Chidi's regular phone. This was a small, cheap phone that she had never seen before. Her heart started beating fast as she picked it up. She told herself that maybe there was an explanation. Maybe it was an old phone. Maybe it belonged to someone else. But when she turned it on and saw the messages, her world collapsed. There were hundreds of messages between Chidi and a woman saved as Baby G. The messages were romantic. They were intimate. They spoke of secret meetings, of hotel rooms in Lekki, of a love that had been going on for over a year. Ada sat on that bed and cried for 3 hours straight. She cried until her eyes were swollen. She cried until she had no more tears left. She felt like someone had reached into her chest and crushed her heart with their bare hands. When Chidi came home that evening, she confronted him. She threw the phone at his chest and screamed at him through her tears. She asked him how he could do this to her. She asked him who Baby G was. She asked him if their marriage meant nothing to him. Chidi fell on his knees. He cried. He begged. He said it was a mistake, a terrible mistake, that he regretted with every fiber of his being. He said he had ended things with the woman months ago, but had been too afraid to throw away the phone. He said he loved only Ada. He said he would do anything to make things right. For 3 weeks, Ada moved back to her mother's house in Surulere. She could not eat. She could not sleep. She lost weight. Her eyes were always red from crying. Her friends told her to leave him. Her younger sister told her that once a cheater, always a cheater. Even her mother, who had always been traditional about marriage, said she would support whatever decision Ada made. But then, something unexpected happened. Ada began to think about the good times. She thought about how Chidi had supported her when she lost her job 2 years ago. She thought about how he had stayed by her side when she had a miscarriage and nearly fell into depression. She thought about the life they had built together, the dreams they had shared, the plans they had made. She thought about her faith, too. She had grown up in a Christian home, and she believed in forgiveness. She believed that people could change. She believed that love was not just a feeling but a choice. So after 3 weeks, Ada made a decision that shocked everyone. She went back home to Chidi. Her friends called her a fool. Her sister said she was making the biggest mistake of her life. But Ada believed in second chances. She believed that her marriage could survive this storm. She believed that with prayer, counseling, and commitment, they could rebuild what had been broken. And for a while, it seemed like she was right. Chidi became the perfect husband again, even better than before. He came home early every day. He attended church with her every Sunday. He agreed to couples counseling with their pastor. He deleted all his social media accounts. He even changed his phone number so that Baby G could never contact him again. Months passed. The wound in Ada's heart began to heal. She started to laugh again. She started to trust again. She even started to believe that the affair had made their marriage stronger, that they had survived something that would have destroyed most couples. Little did she know that the real betrayal was still hiding in plain sight. It was a Thursday evening, almost 1 year after Ada had discovered the secret phone. She and Chidi were sitting in the living room, watching a Nollywood movie on the television. His phone was on the center table, and she no longer felt the need to check it. She had learned to trust him again. But then his phone buzzed with a notification. Chidi glanced at it, and Ada noticed something strange. His face changed. Just for a moment, just for a split second, there was a flash of panic in his eyes. He quickly grabbed the phone, mumbled something about needing to use the bathroom, and disappeared upstairs. Ada told herself it was nothing. She told herself she was being paranoid. She went back to watching the movie. But then, something happened that would change her life forever. About 30 minutes later, Chidi fell asleep on the couch. His phone was in his hand, unlocked. Ada was not planning to check it. She had promised herself she would never go through his phone again. But as she reached over to remove the phone from his hand so it would not fall, her finger accidentally touched something on the screen. What she heard made her blood run cold. It was a voice note. And the voice she heard was not just any voice. It was the voice of her best friend, Ngozi. Ngozi, who had been Ada's friend since secondary school. Ngozi, who had been her chief bridesmaid at her wedding. Ngozi, who had held her hand and wiped her tears when she discovered the affair. Ngozi, who had told her to leave Chidi and never look back. In the voice note, Ngozi was laughing. She was saying, "Baby, I cannot believe she actually forgave you. She is so stupid. She does not even know that I was the one the whole time. Baby G. Ngozi, she never even suspected. And now you want to tell her the truth? Are you mad? Let her continue to think it was some random woman. As long as we are careful, She will never find out. I love you, Chidi. I have always loved you. Even before she married you, I wanted you for myself." Ada could not breathe. She replayed the voice note 3 times, and each time the words cut deeper into her soul. Her best friend. Her own best friend. The woman who had pretended to comfort her, who had pretended to hate Chidi, who had advised her to leave him while secretly hoping she would stay so they could continue their affair. The room started spinning. Ada felt like she was going to faint. But then, something inside her changed. She did not cry. She did not scream. She did not wake Chidi up to confront him. Instead, she calmly forwarded the voice note to her own phone. She deleted the evidence that she had ever touched his phone. She placed it back in his hand, and she walked upstairs to their bedroom with a calm that surprised even herself. For 3 days, Ada acted completely normal. She cooked for Chidi. She smiled at him. She even made love to him. All the while, she was planning her exit. On the 4th day, she called Ngozi and invited her over for lunch. "I have missed you," Ada said sweetly on the phone. "Come over, let us catch up." Ngozi came over, wearing a beautiful dress and carrying a bottle of wine. She hugged Ada and said, "My dear, you look so happy. Marriage is treating you well." Ada smiled. "Sit down," she said. "I want to play something for you." She placed her phone on the table and pressed play. The voice note filled the room. Ngozi's face went from smiling to terrified in less than 3 seconds. She tried to speak, tried to explain, tried to deny. But Ada raised her hand and stopped her. "I trusted you with my pain," Ada said, her voice steady. "I cried on your shoulder, while you were the one causing my tears. I defended my husband while you were the one destroying my marriage. I called you my sister, while you were the one stabbing me in the back." Ngozi started crying, begging for forgiveness. She said it was a mistake. She said she never meant for it to happen. She said the same words Chidi had said 1 year ago. But Ada was done listening to lies. "Get out of my house," she said quietly, "and never speak to me again." That same evening, when Chidi came home, Ada was sitting in the living room with her bags packed. She played the voice note for him too. She watched his face crumble as he realized that his secret was finally exposed. He tried to explain. He tried to apologize. He fell on his knees just like he had done 1 year ago. But this time, Ada did not stay to listen. She picked up her bags, looked at him one last time, and said, "The first time, I forgave you, because I believed you made a mistake. This time, I am leaving, because I finally understand that you never loved me at all. You just loved that I was foolish enough to stay." She walked out of that house and never looked back. The divorce was finalized 6 months later. Ada moved to Abuja, started a new fashion business, and slowly began to rebuild her life. It was not easy. There were nights when she cried herself to sleep. There were days when she wondered if she would ever trust anyone again. But with time, prayer, and the support of her true friends and family, she began to heal. She learned that forgiveness was not about letting people continue to hurt you. She learned that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away. She learned that God does not want us to stay in relationships that destroy our peace and our dignity. 2 years later, Ada met a man named Emeka at a business conference in Lagos. He was kind, honest, and patient. He understood her past and never rushed her to trust him. He proved himself with actions, not just words. And when he finally proposed to her on a quiet beach in Calabar, Ada said yes, with a heart that had finally learned to love again. Today, Ada is happily married with 2 beautiful children. She runs a successful fashion brand that employs over 20 young women. She speaks at women's conferences about healing, self-worth, and the courage to walk away from toxic relationships. And whenever someone asks her about her past, she says this: "I do not regret forgiving him the first time. That taught me about grace. But I also do not regret leaving him the second time. That taught me about self-respect. Some lessons only come through pain. But once you learn them, nobody can ever take them away from you." The moral of this story is simple but powerful. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, but wisdom is knowing when to stop giving people the chance to hurt you again. Not everyone who says they love you actually loves you. Pay attention to actions, not just words, and never be afraid to walk away from anyone who does not value your heart, no matter how long you have been with them or how much you have invested. If this story touched your heart, if it made you think about your own life and relationships, then share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes, the right story at the right time can save someone from years of pain. And if you are going through something similar right now, just know that you are not alone. Your healing is coming. Your better days are ahead. Just hold on.